Happy Monday. I heard this is the time where most kids are going to school these days and back to school and all this good stuff. Congrats and good luck. Hope everything turns out okay for y'all. Today I want to talk about the stupidity of governor presidential candidate, GOP presidential candidate Ramaswamy. Ramaswamy is a guy I had no idea even existed until they showed footage of him at the Iowa caucus. I think that's what it's called. Iowa State Fair or something like that, where all Republicans went to do their debate. And he came out in his booth singing an Eminem, Lose Yourself or something like that. Lose yourself in the moment, you own it, you never let it go. Moment and you own it and own it and all this other garbage. Which was kind of strange because it was all about being an entertainer. You know, I mean, he might as well sing the one where Aerosmith, Dream On. Sing for the moment, you know. Because it just has nothing to do with politics or voting, you know. But there he goes singing that song, and I thought that was just so stupid. I completely discarded the guy as something to pay attention to until about 4 days ago, he comes out saying this Democratic woman, Democratic of Massachusetts. I forgot her last name. I forgot her first name, but I think her last name was Presley. Presley was a form of the modern KKK in accordance to what this guy was saying, which is kind of dumb given the fact that the woman was black. I don't see how that's in any way near KKK or even KKK-ish. No, okay, well, check that. I actually do know one way where it could be interpreted as some kind of bigoted or prejudiced kind of look. And that's where Miss Presley had talked about a black judge that was getting into office. That was going to be a judge. He was supposed to be the replacement. Oh, excuse me. He was supposed to be the replacement of Nancy Pelosi when she retired. This black male guy, and the Democratic governor of Massachusetts, or representative of Massachusetts, said, we don't need somebody that tries to act black but doesn't use his black voice, you know. And that was obviously a way of discrediting this nominee to replace Nancy Pelosi. And so years later, because this was in 2019, here in 2023, this guy Ramaswamy says, oh, she's just the modern version of the KKK, you know. Which I don't really think this guy, you know, he's an American, so he should know better. Ramaswamy is born and raised in America, so he should know better than that. Because about 3 days after he made that statement, over in Florida, this gunman shoots down some African Americans in a dollar store. You know, and he's got swastikas painted on his gun. He left a manifesto saying how much he just can't stand blacks and all this other crap. The guy's a MAGA hatter. He's a Republican, no differently than Ramaswamy. You know, they both of them are proud to say that. But only one lashed out without any kind of sheep's clothing, and the other one is out there with sheep's clothing running for president. You see the problem. You see the stupidity now. Okay? It's just downright dumb. This guy. And I want everybody out there, I want to broadcast this despite the fact that it's just so stupid. But I want to broadcast this because I want to say, especially to the next generation, guys, pay attention to who you're voting for. Because if you're not careful, you're going to be putting this douchebag or dumbass, you know, who's supposedly all-American, but doesn't understand, doesn't even know the difference between somebody that's just ignorant and somebody that's life-threatening KKK. You see where I'm going with this? You gotta look at the stupidity of it all in order to understand the politics. You understand the politics, you could see the smart, you could see the bad, you could see the great choice, you could see the oh hell no's. And you could just see the downright dumbasses that are parading around trying to collect fundraiser money. You know, him singing an Eminem song catered to the Gen X crowd, my crowd, because I'm 50, and everybody that's Gen X should be my age and older, should be around my age, not so much just plain older, but a little younger, a little older, but nevertheless Gen X. Okay? And even still, here's another whacked out thing. This is another reason why in my last segment I said, if you got to exclude us in order to vote for the right person, do it. Because my generation was the generation that was supposed to be above the fools that followed. Okay? And for a while we were. We started inventing a lot of different businesses, different types of entrepreneurship. We also started the trend in the workplaces where everybody gets paid great for working very certain jobs and not having to multitask and all this stuff. But it was our generation that created the multitasking thing as a mandatory, and then later on as to whether or not you should even be hired. And if you are, you're going to go through the ring of fire. You're going to be going through quiet firing throughout the entire time that you're working for us. That's also Gen X. Okay? So back to Ramaswamy. What does that have to do with him? Well, he's appeasing those people. Even going out singing an Eminem song at his candidacy, whatchamacallit. No. And if you like that kind of thing, fine. Tip the dancing bear. But pay attention to who he actually is. Pay attention to what it is that he's actually doing. He's not really trying to make America great or better. He's not trying to re-grease the gear wheels, that makes the machine. He's just parading around, waving, hooray for our side banners and collecting money for it. And that's the stupidity that I'm talking about. This is not some threat like the way the media is saying. This is just a fool parading around like a dumbass. And that's it. That's all that I wanted to say. Also, shame on him for that whole KKK thing. He should know better. He should know better than that. And I hope the next shooter actually gets caught to pay the price for what he's done. This shooter used suicide as a scapegoat, which is incredibly unjust. But for right now, all my hopes and prayers to the victims of the mass shooting. And now that schools is coming back into effect, let's pray for everybody that the next gunman, wherever he's going to be, doesn't hit the schools. and that we stop putting politicians that don't do anything about it, and we stop looking at politicians, even with their great rapping skills, we make sure that those guys aren't put into office. Alrighty, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all take care. Y'all take it easy. It's a brand new work week. Hope everybody out there has a good one. Take care. This is Chris with Chris's Comments, signing out.